Hello everyone and welcome to week 3. This week we're going to be covering operations. If you want to just get an overview, you can click here for the most important things. This is going to bring up a page that's going to discuss product development and operations. It's going to give you a really good overview of everything that we're learning. So it's kind of a cheat sheet. It has a little place to make notes. Now this is just a couple of pages, so you want to make sure that you continue on to explore. And in this week we're being introduced to operations. Last week we talked about product development process and the product life cycle. We started learning about Allied Naturals business, and you learned a lot about the product cycle and production. So make sure you read through everything here and explore. I'm just going to scan through it. And then when you get to the bottom, make sure that you click the discuss link. Here you're going to find a recent article or video describing a new product in development. You're going to make sure you provide a link to the article or the video, and you're going to answer these questions. So what need is the new product trying to fill? And do you think that it will meet that need? What type of innovation does the new product represent? And what kind of process do you think will be used to make the product? And what would it be possible to produce a lot of the product in a short amount of time? So those are your 3 questions. It's actually 4 questions. I didn't number the 4th one. But make sure you answer them all, and then make sure that you respond to at least one of your peers. And remember, that's a minimum. You can certainly do more. One thing I do recommend is that you read every post in the discussion. Okay, you don't have to answer everyone, but read them, because often your students are providing ideas and insights that you're not thinking of. And so to get the most out of the discussion, you want to read every discussion, respond at least to one. You can certainly respond to more. The next is learn. Okay, here we're going to dig a little deeper into operations. We're going to look at different methods for producing a product and how the business chooses between them. And then we're going to wrap up by looking at the importance of quality control and effective management of the operations process. So here you'll watch the video. It's approximately 8 minutes. Go ahead and read all of the material here on planning and the supply chain and manufacturing and production. Continue to read through everything. This is like your textbook here. Okay, they have everything on the screen for you. And when we get to the bottom, there's just a conclusion. So nothing really to do here other than to watch the video. That's what's most important. Watch the video at the top of the page and answer the question. All right, and then next is reflect, or act, and we're going to go into that next and spend some time there. But that's where you'll submit your written assignment. At the end, you have reflect. Let's take a quick look at that. Again, you have another video. Just watch the video. I don't know if they have the technical issues fixed yet, but they haven't told us, so I think you'll just leave it set at 3 and make sure you hit submit. And again, don't worry about the grade book. I will check and make sure everybody gets their credit. Some of them are automatically updating and some of them are not. But I can still see that you have gone in and watched the video. And typically it shows me right there in the grade book. I see a little, kind of a little diamond mark or gemstone mark in the grade book. And that indicates that you have been in there and you've been watching it. Now, occasionally that little mark isn't there. So if you did the assignment and you think you should be getting your grade, but you don't see it, you can certainly contact me and I'll dig a little deeper, and I can typically see that you have done the work, and I will manually award your credit. Just give me a few days after the due date to get everything updated. Okay, so typically I go in on Monday or Tuesday, check the grades, and update anything that needs to be updated. So for example, this week we're in week 2, and everything is due on let's see, my calendar, everything is due by 9 a.m. on Monday morning, which is the 17th. So that Monday morning, I don't typically start work before 9 a.m., but I will typically get up and start grading everything and looking at everything. So give me Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. If you don't see your grade updated by Wednesday evening, then email me so I can take a closer look and we can see what's going on. Okay, I just want to make sure everybody gets their points, and I'll work with you as much as needed to make sure that that happens. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the assignment in week 3. All right, so in this assignment, you are going to take on the role of a category manager. So category manager, there's somebody that's responsible for a group of products, okay? It could be, here they're giving the example of baseball equipment or laundry detergent for a retail business. And so they research and they use information from customers and insights to help change shopper behavior and increase sales of the product in that category. They also work with the suppliers of their product to make sure that goods and products and services are available to customers and that customers have what they want, okay? So part of your role is going to be to analyze data and information about how well a product is selling so that the maker of that product can improve the product and consider introducing new products. Rochelle and her team, they've asked you, the beauty products category manager, to review one of their products and determine where it lies in the product cycle. And additionally, they've asked you to recommend ways to improve the product in order to increase sales. Okay, you want to make sure you start by downloading the template and the resources that are at the bottom for all of your assignment materials. They'll be at the bottom of this page. Step 1, we're going to talk about the product life cycle. All right, there's a report that you will read for Alikay Naturals Moisturizing Black Soap Shampoo. It contains information that's going to help you identify where the product stands in the product life cycle. It's going to give you some clues to changes that customers might want to see. So you want to respond to Rochelle and her team at Alikay Naturals based on the information that you read in the product report. One thing I'm going to suggest to you is to read out loud, okay? You will hear things that you will miss if you don't read out loud. And that is for this product report as well as the paper that you're going to be writing here. I can't stress this enough. Anytime I have to do anything written, I always read it out loud. You will be amazed at the mistakes that you will find or things that you will just hear that you might have just glanced over if you're just reading it in your head, okay? So I know it might sound a little funny, but read it out loud. The other tip I'm going to give you for writing, read it from bottom to top, okay? And I'm going to show you what I mean by that. And I know that sounds a little funny, read it from bottom to top, but it works. I cannot tell you why, but it does work. When you read from the bottom to the top, you're going to notice things you wouldn't have noticed. So here are your instructions. For step 1, you're going to identify where Moisturizing Black Soap Shampoo is currently positioned in the product life cycle and describe the rationale for your position. You're going to compose 3 questions that Rochelle should pose to her team to better understand the product's positioning and potential at this particular stage in its life cycle. So for example, if you have determined the product is in the introductory phase, you want to suggest the question, how have competitors priced similar products? Now what I mean from reading it from bottom to top is when you write your paper, when you answer these questions, go back and read it like this. How have competitors priced similar products? For example, if you have determined the product is in the introductory phase, you might suggest the question. Compose 3 questions that Rochelle should pose to her team to better understand the product's positioning and potential at this particular stage in its life cycle. Okay, so you see I started at the bottom and I read a sentence and then I went up and I read the next sentence and then I went up and read the next sentence. I just want you to give this a try. When you write your paper, when you're finished and you're doing your final editing, do that. Read your last sentence and then read the sentence above that and then read the sentence above that. You're going to hear things that you will miss if you just read it in your head. And I want you to do this out loud. It may sound funny. Shut the door to your office or your bedroom, wherever you're doing your work, and tell your family, you know, I'm going to be in there talking. You're going to hear me. Just ignore me, okay? Trust me. It is an excellent technique for good writing. All right, the next is step 2, product changes based on what you've learned. What recommendations do you have for Alikay Naturals to improve or replace moisturizing black soap shampoo? Step 3, new product development. Read the new product proposal, which contains 3 examples of possible products that could be developed to replace moisturizing black soap shampoo. Based on the information in this proposal and the customer's feedback in the product report, if you had to recommend one product, which product would you recommend they create? Explain your decision. Anytime you see where it says explain your decision, or I believe up here it said describe the rationale for your position, make sure you elaborate. Really go into detail. Why are you choosing this? Okay? There's really no right or wrong answer necessarily. Just want to know why your thoughts went to what they did and why you are recommending what you're recommending. Next, determine what type of innovation this represents from among the 4 types discussed this week. Briefly explain why you chose that type of innovation. And make sure you complete step 4 after you read the materials in week 3. So some of you may have already been working on this. Make sure you go all the way through the materials in week 3. Step 4 is production methods. So based on your understanding of Alikay's position in the product lifestyle and their expected sales volume, which production method do you think Alikay is using for the black soap shampoo? Explain your rationale. Make sure you go into detail about why you're choosing this. If Alikay chose to keep the moisturizing black soap shampoo and launch your recommended product as a limited time only trial, what production method should Alikay use for the test market product and why? And then finally, step 5, choose a product at your company or one that you're familiar with that's in the mature stage of the product lifestyle cycle. Briefly describe the product, tell why you think it's in this phase, and what improvements that could be made to change its current path. So here's the link for your template. Here's the resources. You're going to want to read all of that before. This is going to have the product report in it that they talked about in the beginning, so make sure you read that. And then when you're ready, submit your template here. You'll click on Submit Your Work. Okay, it's got the rubric here. I do recommend reviewing the rubric so you know exactly what you need to be covering and you don't miss any parts. Okay. And then you don't want to do a text. You want to attach a Word document. So you're going to click on Browse My Computer. It's going to pop open, you know, one of these little things here. And you'll find the right file, okay, that you need. All right. And select the right file, and it will attach. And then make sure you come down. It's kind of hard for me to show, but all the way down here in the lower right-hand corner is a submit button. Okay, so make sure you hit submit, all right? And then I will get a copy of your assignment. It'll be in the grade book. And it even shows you up here the due date is July 24th at 9 a.m. All right, that's going to be a Monday at 9 a.m. If you have any questions, make sure you email me. You can also post in the Ask the Professor. I do check my email and that forum at least once a day. All right, so good luck, everybody. Wish you the best and look forward to reading your papers.